What's up guys and welcome back to Tina's Garage. In today's video, we're going to be upgrading the brakes on the 400EX. Let's get right into it. I picked up these YFZ450 brakes for the 400 and hopefully they fit. I've read a lot of things online about converting your 400 over to the 450 brakes from a Yamaha because the brackets line and mount right up, and these have more stopping power because they're dual piston. So we're going to attempt to put these on today. Hopefully they line up like they say, and hopefully my brake lines aren't all rotted. So we're going to be filling the reservoir with fluid. I got a whole thing of some .3 here, and hopefully try to get this front brake situation solved. Now to get to the front brakes, we're obviously going to have to take off the tires, the wheels. So I'm going to put a jack stand underneath the quad, lift it up so we have the tires off the ground, pull each tire off. I think it's like a 14mm nut. There's 4 of them on each wheel, and then we should be able to have access to the brakes. The wheels are off. Now that they're off, we should be able to hook this brake up here and see if it mounts correctly. Hopefully it does. Does it go this way or does it go the other way? It might. This might be the wrong side. Let me see. Hopefully these things mount up or this whole video will be a bust. Yeah, so they mount up perfectly just like that. I mean, that'll work out great. I do have some of the original bolts here for this. Hopefully these thread into here. Haven't even checked. They thread in no problem. So these things are pretty dirty. I'm gonna go ahead to the wire wheel and clean these bolts up. Looks like there was some kind of Loctite on there, so I may throw some blue Loctite on there and then cinch these up here. And we do get new banjo bolts with these new brakes calipers, which is nice because these old ones I have are pretty crusty, along with these lines. Again, not sure if these lines are even going to be worth anything, but we'll find that out here in a second when I hook everything up. Both sides are on, well, both calipers. I have to put this actual brake line on with this banjo bolt now. And the way these work, you have 2 copper washers. One goes on one side, one goes on the other. And I'm just going to line this up. Now, these factory lines aren't going to mount perfectly in here. Considering this is a Yamaha. Now this isn't an actual Yamaha caliper, it's an off-brand clone of a Yamaha. So anyway, here we are tightening this up, this banjo bolt. And this, I think I want to have up here. I'm not sure how I want this banjo bolt to run. So let's just see what happens when I tighten it up. I mean, it looks fine right there. Not hitting anything. It is touching the castle nut there on that knuckle. So maybe we can move it up some, like that. Oh, too much. Okay, banjo bolts are secure. I think they're going to be fine like that. So, I mean, if we twist this, doesn't look like they're getting in the way. They may touch right here, but I think that's going to be okay. Our steering stem bushings and bearing are pretty wore out too, so that's causing a bit of play there. But now that the banjo bolts are secure, we can tap open these bleeder valves. And I actually have a brake bleeding pump thing, but we got to go up here to the master cylinder and make sure everything's tight, open it up and add some fluid. Okay, here is the master cylinder. It's kind of, the banjo bolt here is kind of behind this. So I'm going to get a 12mm wrench here and tighten this banjo bolt up. Again, I don't even know if these lines are good. We're just going to assume they are. Hope they are. And once I tighten this up, we should be able to add some fluid to this new master cylinder. Now, if you have an old master cylinder, sometimes these little screws will be a pain in the butt to get off. What I recommend, if they're not stripped out yet, before you even start them, is once you put a screwdriver on, tap the end of the screwdriver with a hammer a few times. It'll shock these screws, and you should be able to pull them out a little easier. And if they still have trouble, well, there's a bunch of tips on the internet on how to do that. You could potentially jam a Torx bit in there and try to twist it out that way, but thankfully, this is a new cylinder, or a new master cylinder, so we don't have to worry about that. Here is all the components, completely dry. So we are good to go there. We just need to pour some brake fluid in there, crack a bleeder, and I'm going to attach my brake bleeder, and then we should be able to pull some fluid through. Now, I will say, without a vacuum pump for your brakes, this can be very, very challenging. You first want to make sure your master cylinder is primed, and there's a load of air in here. You probably cannot see that. Maybe you can. So you just want to kind of slowly pump these as best you can. Oh, look at that. It's already primed. As you can see, it's shooting up the fluid. That means this master cylinder is already primed, and now there's still air in our lines, so we gotta come over here to our vacuum pump that I attached. I just got this cheap vacuum kit, brake vacuum pump kit on Amazon. I'll have it linked down below. I've used it several times. It works pretty good. It's literally just a simple pump with a little reservoir so you don't get fluid in your pump, and you can just stick a hose right to the bleeder, draw a vacuum, and start sucking fluid. So we have fluid in our reservoir up there. We're going to crack this bleeder open. Try not to sling your handlebars a bunch because your fluid is in there, and it will sling brake fluid everywhere. And brake fluid is very corrosive. So let's pull a vacuum. Oh, popped off. So unfortunately, my little brake bleeder kit that I have, it's so cold in my garage right now, it is not fitting on this little brake bleeder nipple. So I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way, where you pump the lever slowly about 3 or 4 times, crack the bleeder, close the bleeder. Pump it 3 or 4 times, crack the bleeder, close the bleeder. Just doing it over and over again. I finally got fluid to that other one over there. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to do this one because it's on the other side of the handlebars. But I'm going to attempt to do it myself, and if I can, I'll let you know. But again, unfortunately, this brake bleeder has worked for me in the past for other brake jobs, but unfortunately, it's literally like 30 degrees in my garage right now, and the plastic, this tubing, is not creating a seal, so it's unfortunate, and I can't really use it right now. So the brakes are technically bled. I've pumped and pumped and pumped, and I actually had someone come out here and help me. There was a little bit of air left in the lines, but now the lever is pretty solid. And like right here, now that we're pumping it, it's pretty tight here. I can squeeze it pretty hard to get to there. There's probably still a little air left in the lines. I guess, I don't know why it's pulling so far in, but I'm gonna call this good for now because I don't even have a way to test these brakes because I don't have a chain yet. So that's coming soon. Actually, it should be here today, later today. So I'll probably make a separate video on that. Now we can take our bleeder little loops here that I made so that it doesn't pour fluid all over the place, and pull those off, put our caps on, put our wheels back on, and I think we should be set for front brakes, guys. Upgraded dual piston Yamaha front brakes. Got the master cylinder all back together. It's a little like piece of rubber, a flat plate, then your cover plate with the 2 screws. I just snug those bad boys up, and now clean up a little bit more, maybe throw some brake cleaner on here to get this brake fluid off, and then essentially put our wheels back on, and I think we're done. So I didn't have the OEM brakes, so I don't know how to compare, but they do stop the tires. So once I get a chain and drive this thing, I'll actually be able to tell these brakes. Obviously, they have to be seated in, and that'll take a little bit for them to wear into the actual brake discs. So give that some time, and hopefully I'll give you guys an update on these in maybe a later video. But for now, that's it. The front brakes on this 400EX have been upgraded to a dual piston setup. So we should technically have some more stopping power according to the internet, and now more even brake pad wear. All right, guys, that's gonna be the end of this video. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you subscribed. If you like this kind of content, I have a lot more stuff coming out with this 400. I also have a project over here I haven't said anything about yet, so that's new to the channel and will be coming. That's how you upgrade your 400EX front brakes. Now, I did use a knockoff version of a YFZ450 caliper. They are brand new, and it was a little bit of a cheaper option, obviously, than going with an OEM front brake. And this thing it did have front brakes, but they were trash. So I did not want to have to use them and reservice them. One of them was completely broken or gone or something, so I didn't have them. But I will have these front brakes linked down below. Direct bolt-on, everything went good. And I think if you have a master cylinder already primed with fluid, it'll probably be even easier because you can just pop these on and you won't have to bleed them for as long as I did. Unfortunately, my vacuum bleeder didn't work. Again, it's freezing in here and I couldn't get the thing to seal on the bleeder valves, whatever they're called. So that's gonna be the end of this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Use links down below. I'll have them down there, help support my channel. Other than that, hope you have a good one. Bye.